God has made it a rule for himself that he won't alter people's character by force. Great, okay? He can and will alter them, but only if the people will let him. We have free will. We have choice. God gave us that. You guys ever hear of Isaac Pavlov? What is the great what's the great experiment with Isaac Pavlov?
Pavlovian dog.
The dogs?
Rings the bell.
Okay, we got that one up. So what happened was, and he wasn't actually doing an experiment to see what he found out. He was actually doing an experiment on their digestive system, which was kind of interesting. And so what would happen is every time the lab assistants would bring in food, the dogs would start salivating. And they got to know what assistants were bringing food, okay? So every time they saw those assistants, they would begin drooling for food. Well, then there were times when those assistants came in, guess what happened? The dogs still drooled. Because they were conditioned that they knew that those assistants would be coming with food. So they knew. They were programmed that when this person came in, they would have food. How many of us are programmed by certain things every day? We have some things that program us. We don't even have to have words, right? We're going to do an experiment. And I'm going to show you guys a sign. And it's not going to have words, but I want you to tell me what it means. We'll try the first one. How do you know that? You've been trained, right? You know from driver's ed, hopefully, that this means to stop, right? Let's do the next one. What does this mean?
No parking.
No parking. Does it say that? How do you know that?
It does.
Where does it say no parking? It just says no pee. I mean, don't go to the bathroom? I don't know. No parking. You just know that means no parking, right? Okay. What about this one? And I know this one says it, but railroad crossing, it does say it. But you know that, right? When you see that X there. And there's spaghetti behind the car. What does that mean? The road is slippery. So we learn what certain signs mean, right? There's a comedian, Jeff Allen, who he talks about his parents. His parents were married for 57 years, and him and his wife were there visiting. And his dad had this nightly routine that he would start. And the mom would get up, go into the kitchen, make him a sandwich, come back and give him a drink. And this happened every night. She was conditioned to know that when he started with that, she had to feed him. How many of you guys know your spouses well or your children well? I know my dad knew on Friday night when we wanted money because we would come to the side of the chair or sit on the arm of the recliner. He knew we wanted money. We didn't have to ask. He just knew, right? How many times were we conditioned to things? We get to that point. Any of you guys have any things that you know your kids are conditioned? You don't even have to ask them. They just, you know, when they act that way, this is what's going to happen. Anyone? Nobody. How many of you have things in your job that you know when this happens, you have to do this? Anyone? What? You have things? I know that when I see a lot of mail, I know I'm going to have overtime. Simple as that. I know that when I hear up at the window things aren't going well, I know it's my time to come up to the window to handle the issue. I don't have to be told, I just know it's time to go up there. You know, what do you do when you see flashing lights coming behind you?
Speed up.
Speed up, yes. Some of us do, some of us take the dirt road and go through. No. You pull over and stop, right? Yeah, you're conditioned. One of my biggest things that I really am a stickler about right now is when you see a funeral procession, what are you guys supposed to do?
Stop.
Pull over and stop. And how we have unconditioned a lot of people to not do that. Yeah. All right, our brains are conditioned to respond to certain things around us without much of an explanation.